I'm sorry, we're closed.
Oh, no. I called about the...
Sorry, pal. Holidays are hell.
I'm scared.
Shh. Time to close your eyes and go to sleep. Someone's coming tonight.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's Christmas Eve. I'm out of time.
Stop smiling!
Hi, this is Brandon Ford.
And Merry Christmas. This is Tony the Tiger, the Thunder from Down Under.
Christmas is over.
Oh, well, I'm letting everyone know. I'm telling the audience Merry Christmas for yesterday.
Yes, this is a posthumous.
Merry Boxing
Yes, because Christmas is dead. This is our last episode of 2022.
Our wake for 2022.
Yes. And so for this week's commentary, we are doing the 2016 anthology film Holidays, which I thought was a nice capper to 2022 because not only does it have a Christmas segment, but it also has a St. Patrick's Day and a Valentine's Day and a Halloween,
New Year's.
and a New Year's and an Ann Arbor Day and a fucking Guy Fawkes Day, all that stuff. So yes, it runs the gamut. But we're going to talk about that momentarily. But quickly, I would like to get the usual plugs out of the way. I'd like to encourage all the listeners out there to please check out my books in hardcover, Kindle, and paperback editions by going to Amazon.com, typing in Brandon Ford. You'll also find my author page, which you can subscribe to in order to receive email notifications whenever I have a new release. If you prefer audiobooks, I have several titles available on Audible, which you can easily find on Audible.com or the Audible app by typing in Brandon Ford. If you don't already, please follow me on Instagram at writer Brandon Ford. You can also follow me on both Twitter and Letterboxd at Brandon Ford. You can also follow Tony on Letterboxd at Tony_the_bear. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions, recommendations, feel free to email me directly at blindragepod81@gmail.com. Please don't forget to stop by the Blind Rage Podcast official Facebook page to like and subscribe. Last and most importantly, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Blind Rage Podcast on your preferred podcasting platform. Aside, it would annoys me when people say, don't forget to rate the podcast. On other podcasts, what annoys me is not that people ask to be, reviewed or rated, because clearly I do it every week. But what annoys me is when people say, please don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. What the fuck? Calm down.
Yes.
Don't you want people to be honest?
No, often they don't.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I remember that last time you were in tears when you got that bad review.
I was not in tears, and I didn't get a bad review. I just got a 1 star. And whoever gave me that 1 star can get fucked.
Yes. And they can shove that 1 star up their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they can fuck themselves with all 5 ends.
They get 2 thumbs up.
Their asses.
Yes.
And
then clap.
So before we... Okay. Somebody's giddy. I think he had an Irish coffee. So...
No, I'm still hungover from yesterday.
Oh, God. You got drunk doing that interview?
No. Well, I was a bit drunk before that, but Christmas. I had a few eggnogs. Well, not eggnogs. I had chocolate liqueur. That was nice.
Okay. So before we get into the movie, have you watched anything of note?
I've watched
lately?
a few classics of note.
Tell me.
Well, one that I have never seen, and I quite enjoyed, The 7-Year Itch, which is about undiagnosed chlamydia.
Oh.
No, of course not. It's the Marilyn Monroe air vent over the subway and dress billowing and yada, yada, yada. I never really realized what the story was about. And that's based on a play, and enjoyed all the actors. And Marilyn... Marilyn is very enjoyable, but I always remember a review of one of her last movies, the one I think that she died during. But the cinematographer was saying that she's just so lifeless in the eyes. And that's sort of something that I kept looking at throughout the movies. Her eyes are so almost like doll-like quality that it's very wide-eyed, but it's her ditziness really is exemplified in the eyeball delivery. And the other movie that I watched was 1986's Aliens by James Cameron. And that's always good, a bit of fun to watch. Sort of when I was describing World War Z, I was saying, with the original Alien, it was sort of a slow burn horror, whereas Aliens is an action horror.
Yeah, I noticed that people gravitate more toward Aliens than the original.
Yeah. Well, the pace is a lot faster, and it's more of a like popcorn entertainment, whereas the original was I would actually say more prestigious, which can also be a bit off-putting to everyday audience members. And how about yourself? What have you been watching?
I watched a movie that I found on Tubi and thought it was just going to be just more generic, low-budget horror movie fare, but I quite enjoyed it. It was a movie called The Seance, and it was a very minimalist movie, and it was heavy on the dialogue. It was a lot of it was centered around the main characters and their dynamic. And I could very easily see it as a play. Okay. But it was about this guy who calls himself a medium, and he is holding a seance at his house, which he bought specifically because it's haunted. And he had a group of people over because they wanted to reach out to someone, and they have the seance, they leave, and one girl stays behind. And then we discover that she does a she's Australian, by the way. I believe there's a TV show in Australia where she debunks a lot of frauds. And so she'd heard about him on the internet. And so a lot of it was their dialogue trying to figure out exactly what he had done to make certain things happen. Like, for example, when they were having this seance, there was a wife trying to reach out to her husband, and she asked for a sign that he was there, and the piano started playing a classical piece that he used to play for her all the time. And she started inspecting the piano, saying maybe it was a player piano, and she was very doubtful about the whole thing, and things progress from there. But for a movie that had really no stars and was very low budget, and it was a little on the short side, but I think the running time worked. I thought it was really good. I really liked it. It was very simple, but it did what it wanted to do. And there's one part that I thought was funny, because they had to escape at one point from the house, and oh God, what the fuck did he call it? He had his car blessed by a priest. And because he wanted like a sanctuary. In case something bad happened. So he called it a portable poltergeist something. I don't remember. Yes, portable poltergeist pitmobile. But I didn't rewind it, but I'm 99% positive the first time he said it, he said portable poultrygeist.
Okay.
So, which is a callback to our Thanksgiving episode from 2021. If you haven't checked that out.
Your story reminded me of there was celebrities talking about their paranormal experiences, and one of them that always stuck with me is this author called Judy. She was saying that her and her husband were at a theater show. That was let's say Death of a Salesman, so not anything audience invested, but her husband out of nowhere just sort of started singing to himself, almost like loudly enough to annoy people around him. And then later, after the show finished, and they got home, they had a phone call to say that his brother had died during the performance, and that was the song that they used to sing as children. So I just found that sort of stuck with me in a funny, interesting way.
Way to bring the podcast down.
I didn't think that brought it down. Your piano playing reminded me of it.
Okay. Well, we're going to turn the page here. Second movie I watched, funnily enough, is called Tony.
About the awards.
Quiet down. It was a British horror film that I'm pretty sure was based on a real life serial killer from the UK whose name I can't remember, but I did speak about a documentary that Netflix did on him. It was one of my watches.
Yes, I remember you saying about it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was decent, but it really didn't go anywhere. And it just follows the main character as he it's very short too. It's only like 76 minutes.
Okay.
And he I don't know if he was supposed to be if he was supposed to be closeted or if he was just uncomfortable with his homosexuality, but I don't know. There were things that alluded to him being gay, but then there were moments where he was looking at like centerfolds of women and trying to arrange dates with prostitutes who worked for a telephone service. And some of it was very violent. And he did go to gay bars too.
Yeah.
But some of it was very violent, and basically it was just kind of like a day in the life type thing of what he did around the UK with regard to meeting people who ultimately became organs that he disposed of in garbage bags in one of the lakes or rivers or something.
Yeah.
Their performances I thought were really good. The lead guy did well. I believe that they were Scottish. Everybody had very thick accents. Some of them were nice. Some of them I couldn't understand very well, but
a lot of redheads, I'm sure.
Probably.
And kilts.
But I mean, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I think it left something to be desired because, you know,
What
nothing
did the
really.
title allude to?
That's his name.
Oh, I thought you said you couldn't remember his name. That's. Oh, that was
No,
the
I said-
serial killer. You couldn't remember his name. Yep.
No, the real killer. I couldn't remember his name, but his name isn't Tony.
Yeah.
I don't think. But yeah, the movie's called Tony. It's from 2009.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's that. So that's all I have. So, if you are about ready,
I
think
am.
we should get in. I think we should get into holidays because I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Take some time to celebrate.
Okay, settle. All right, so yeah, if you want to watch along, there's a lot of movies called Holiday and Holidays, but this is Holidays from 2016, and I think the easiest way to find it is to search for Holidays with Seth Green because he's, I think, the most the most well-known name in the movie. And if Seth Green is the most well-known name in your movie, that's kind of sad. Okay, so we're gonna begin Holidays in 3, 2, 1, play.
With Distant Corners Entertainment.
Now, this was one I'd never heard of, and I was looking for something something kind of obscure as far as Christmas movies go, and I found a list of obscure horror movies, which for the most part weren't obscure to me, but this one came up, and because of the Seth Green segment, and I thought it sounded interesting, and then I realized how so very wrong I was.
I didn't mind it as much as you hated it.
If there is one word I could use to describe this movie, it's underdeveloped.
Okay.
I thought this first story, the Valentine's Day one, It's so fucking predictable. As soon as the teacher says he has a heart condition, it's like, oh, okay, that's where we're gonna go. And because the main bully is putting on a fucking what is it? A talent show just to raise funds for him. He felt, obliged to let her harass other students. I didn't really buy that at all. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, scream your head off at somebody, but you can be like, all right, that's enough. Knock it off.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything. And I think if you're going to do a nod to Carrie, it should be in a better movie. But there isn't, because Carrie is such a classic.
Yes.
And yeah, there is a nod to Carrie because one of the girls is wearing a similar red baseball cap to Norma.
Oh, and I thought definitely the maxi pad chanting was...
Yeah, there's that too.
To
yeah, plug it up. Yeah.
And even these red swimsuits, like the bloody pigs.
Bloody pigs?
Well, when she gets covered in the pig's
You mean
blood.
pig blood, not bloody pigs.
Yeah.
They don't throw bloody pigs on her.
I said what I said.
Yeah, you're standing by what you said, are you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's not even clever.
No. But high schoolers aren't very clever.
No. And I don't know any teacher who would have let this go on in school.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in Carrie, they were doing it in the locker room away from the eyes of the teacher. They're doing this right in front of the teacher.
That's what I liked about the craft, is that it was a quick insult, and then the teacher told her off, Christine Taylor. Whereas this, getting pushed, this is dangerous.
Yeah, every time Christine Taylor...
You have to go save her.
Yeah, but every time Christine Taylor said anything, the gym teacher was like, put a lid on it, Laura.
Yeah.
Oh, that laughter is
the
so
teacher, he
convincing.
just seems so pathetic. Yeah.
Oh god, this
They should have had the gym teacher naked to accentuate the fantasy.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's
not really my type, but
he's not that hot.
Well, no, I'm sure he is. I'm sure you'd find him quite attractive, but he's just someone I gravitate towards.
Why is that?
I don't know. What I was having this conversation yesterday. What would be the opposite of gravitating towards?
Being repelled by.
Okay. Because I was thinking you can't gravitate against. Please, girl. Just got a red scrunching. How? Oh, and I saw the baseball cap that you were talking about earlier.
Valentine's is tonight. Why would we go Friday? What? I can't do Friday. Well, no,
When it's got a BlackBerry.
Ah.
No, the talent show.
I miss my BlackBerry. Well, I used to. We've spoken about my BlackBerry before.
I thought you were talking about your Rosebud.
Settle. This is a serious matter here, okay?
It's a nice gesture.
You know how much these kids love me. What the fuck?
You look up to me, Cam. All right, and I'd be a real jerk to reach out on my own fundraiser, don't you think?
And he sounds a bit young to have a heart condition. Well, I mean, I guess you could have a heart condition at any age, but
Yeah,
doesn't
I
he?
think I had a cousin who had a hole in the heart from a young age.
Yeah. I can't believe I just said yeah. But yeah,
Ask me.
yeah. I've known people who've had heart murmurs at a young age. But do they even go into detail as far as what's wrong with his heart?
He needs a heart transplant.
He needs a heart. Well, he seems a little
snippets, I
young for
reckon.
that. Then
And I only just noticed that now as we were talking, because there was a quick zoom cut of a letter that he received from a doctor's office.
oh,
First, you show everybody your little friend, Mr.
Oh, God.
And then just watch.
as I've said before, I always thought that bullies in movies are so much more vicious than they often are in real life. I mean, I've been taunted with. I mean, how would this girl even know that the main character's father committed suicide with a box cutter?
What I find is that usual bullying is more subtle but over a much longer period. Or else when it's quite to the point, it's, say for instance, online.
Well, that's the way it is now, and I thank God that I was not in school when there was a computer in every home. I dodged that bullet. And social media.
You just did prank phone calls.
I did. Well, not. I didn't have anybody's number that I went to school with because I had no friends. I just used to call people at random.
Will you be friends with me?
Yes, I used to do that. Yeah.
And then when they say no, you're like, well, fuck you too.
Oh my God.
Hey, it's after Christmas. I'm gonna be a cunt.
And what's your excuse the rest of the year?
I'm sorting out personal issues.
Okay. Oh my God, listen to that sad music.
I know, it's like boo-hoo. You know, I only just realised, and I'm embarrassed because I hadn't been abiding by the rules, that my local swimming pool, you're not supposed to shower naked. So
Oh.
it's getting like full. But in saying that, the first time I went in, someone else was naked, so I thought and then
When in
until
Rome,
recently I read a
yes.
sign saying make sure you have your bathers on when you're showering.
So it's meant to be a rinse off, not a shower.
Well, I know it was like a maximum of, let's say, 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, so then it's
But they've
definitely
got
supposed to
soap
be a
in there,
rinse
so
off.
it's not. Yeah.
When I went to I stayed at a hotel once that had an indoor pool, and like right to the side of the restroom, which was conveniently placed like directly in front of the pool, saying, please don't drop a deuce in our pool. The restroom was right here, but yeah, there was a small shower right there that didn't have a door on it or anything, so it was just to rinse off.
Yeah, but see, that one is a rinse off one.
And plus, in case anybody was planning on getting frisky in that shower, the opposite wall was comprised of a window that let out like right outside the hotel.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, if you want to get down, everybody's gonna look at you. So
Now, something I remembered,
yeah.
because of the music, is that this is from the directors of Starry Eyes. What?
Why did you have to tell me that?
Oh, did you not know that?
No.
Happy Valentine.
See, now I'm upset. Because
you wanna
Starry
go back
Eyes
to
is
your
such a
shower
good
story.
movie. No, Starry Eyes is such a good movie, and it's like, how do you go from Starry Eyes to this fucking shit?
Yeah, but I think Starry Eyes came afterwards. Did it not?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, really, for the, I guess when you're having to, because you're.
You don't even live this way. What does that sound like? She doesn't even go here.
This isn't funny. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no. Oh God. Yeah, the music is very similar to the music in Starry Eyes. Now that you mentioned, because I did think that it sounded similar to something.
That
I just
80s synth, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Starry Eyes, we were talking off mic about the actor Pat Healy, because I had watched The Innkeepers recently, and Pat Healy was in Starry Eyes as well.
This is very frighteners. Every time I see a box cutter, I think of that movie.
That fucking killer was scary. Gary Busey's son. What was his name?
Yeah, it's not saying
Something Busey, we'll
James?
say. Yes.
Yeah, no.
Why would you think that? Valentine's Day is tonight.
He was also in Identity as the killer that gets as the criminal. Sorry, who gets a baseball down the throat.
This is kind of like,
That should have been in a fridge.
one would think. This is kind of this music is kind of like the reveal at the end of Starry Eyes when she's got the gown on
Yes.
and the wig and everything.
No. And even this, yeah. It reminded me of Drive with Ryan Gosling. The music in that.
This is the St. Patrick's Day one. I thought that this one, I didn't think it was good, but I thought this one, out of all the stories, was the only one that was fleshed out. This one has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that it was based on Irish lore.
Yeah. That it had a mythology that it could follow.
Yes.
To some
Yes.
better degree.
Everything else seems like the scripts were just written in a day.
Well, I'd say some of them seem very inspired by, whereas this one seemed more took actual elements of.
Yes.
Look, I know how hard change is. Coming to a new school.
And I actually, one thing I did quite like is that they had an international element to the to this anthology series.
In the world.
Well, this is the only one, isn't it?
Do you know what?
Yeah,
I have an idea.
Not much of an international
Would you like to ring
element.
the lunch bell?
it's like an Abercrombie and Fitch catalog.
Yeah.
If you remember that Family Guy episode where they play like Where's the minority in the catalog.
No, I don't remember that.
It was like a stand-up of playing Where's Waldo in the Abercrombie and Fitch catalog, where they had to find the non-white person in the catalog. And they're like, oh, there he is.
If I knew how to get an Abercrombie and Fitch catalog when I was in high school, I would have fucking went to town.
Those pages would have been stuck together.
Yes, they would.
See, I only had access to my sister's Cosmopolitan.
Oh, they used to have the hot guy of the month.
Well, it was less that, but sometimes they would have like a sealed section, which is, that was maybe once a year.
Oh.
You're thinking of the Cosmo Centerfold, eh?
Mm-hmm. No, when I was in high school, I didn't even know what Abercrombie and Fitch was. I never, because Abercrombie and Fitch was more of a suburban thing.
Okay.
I had never heard of it until that god awful LFO song.
After, I don't know.
We didn't, well, I mean, like, we don't have, I mean, we have malls here, but we don't really have mall culture. I mean, like in Philly, because it's a major metropolitan city, it's not, it was never really...
You don't drive to the mall.
No, yes, it was never really a thing where you would just go to the mall and hang out all day or get dropped off and just walk around all day. That was not a thing. That's more of a suburban thing.
Yeah. See, it's interesting, not that interesting, but what we call malls, I think, is different to what you call malls. Because we have plazas.
You have
like
strip
plaza.
malls.
No, they're like indoor, big, huge, like what Mallrats is set in.
So you have malls.
But what we call a mall is outdoor. So, like in Adelaide, we have Rundle Mall, which is an outdoor street. That's a pedestrian roadway, and then shops on either side.
Remember when Tiffany did her mall tour?
Oh, in Mallrats?
No, Tiffany the singer.
No, I don't. No, I don't remember that at all.
Well, I mean, a lot of up and coming pop stars did that, but
Yes,
I think
I know that. Yeah.
I think she was known so heavily as being the pop star who did mall tours because there was like clips of her performing in a mall, and I think We're Alone Now video. But
yeah.
I saw a bootleg video that somebody recorded of Britney Spears performing in a mall, like before she got famous.
Yeah, I reckon, like maybe, I wanted to say a few years ago, but it might be 2 decades now. Celebrities used to often do mall appearances in Australia, and like the Backstreet Boys, you know, where they'd have all the fans screaming around them, you know. I guess, you know, it's an antiquated thing, but I think Adelaide had a set a world record when the Beatles came to visit, and they stood at a balcony at the town hall, and they had a lot of, like, the biggest crowd to come visit them.
My mother went to see the Beatles.
That's sweet.
No, listen. My mother went to see the Beatles with her cousin when they were like teenagers. I think my dad went too. I don't know. Well, maybe she just told him the story because he's the one who told me. But there was a really long line to get in, and my mom got kind of antsy, and she was just like, "Fuck this! I'm not standing here." And she just walked ahead of everybody and went in.
Oh.
And got away with it too. And I think a lot of it had to do with because she was a blonde. She had long, silky blonde hair.
She had the swagger.
She had the swagger. Yeah, she did.
See, I never really understood why the girl did this to the teacher, because the teacher seemed to want to look out for the little girl.
Well, to bring her into the cult.
Oh yes, yeah.
See, and another thing that I don't like about this movie is it takes That's cute. It takes some of the same elements like pregnancy and utilizes them in different stories, like in the Mother's Day one where the girl keeps getting pregnant, which I don't understand why the doctor didn't just like, okay, we could give you a hysterectomy.
Well,
but we'll get to that.
yes. And I was wondering if condoms didn't work.
Condoms.
No,
well, she says that she would make her husband or whatever the guy was wear three condoms.
That's right, yes.
Which
but when you do that, they rub against each other.
Yes,
and
you're
that
not
can make
supposed to
them
do
split.
that. See, and that goes to show how unresearched this thing is. Well, first of all, yeah, the rubber is rubbing against itself. And plus, nobody would really get any sensation, so what the fuck is the point?
Maybe she had a huge vag hole.
Well, she might have a heavy flow and a wide set vagina, so, I mean, it's not her fault.
She needs to use a whole roll of tissue paper.
She uses super jumbo tampons.
Yep.
Okay? Alright.
You're going to put that in your burn book, eh?
I am.
You're a pusher, Brandon.
Mm-hmm. And you're too gay to function.
Hey, only...
I know, it's only okay when I say it.
Yes.
Vets don't get things wrong.
Vets don't get things wrong. Yeah.
It's not only suicide, it's probably the most wrong-headed thing
And this one,
attempted in human endeavor.
I thought went on too long. Because the other ones are really kind of quick.
I thought the Valentine's ones was a little pace. I think this one might have felt long because it was a bit quicker, as in stuff happened. I mean, I guess I should have checked the minute running, but yeah. But I guess what I liked about this one is that if you were to ask me to write a horror movie about St. Patrick's Day, I would not have at all gone in this direction.
Well, who the fuck knows about Irish folklore?
Lore.
Except for the Irish. I never heard of this.
Well, if you look it up.
You can do that, yeah. Or you could just be lazy and write a script about a killer leprechaun.
Yes.
Who wants his gold?
So she had to lure the snake out with a rat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the book Kiss the Girls, if you ever read it.
That's the second time you brought that up. And you kept kept thinking about Carrie Elway's having a big penis because his character in the book had a big penis.
Well, although Gary doesn't give me big dick energy, really. He gave it to Alicia Silverstone.
Yes, he sure did. You will never forgive her for that piano scene, the poor thing. I'm not fond of this music, this drum, boom, 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 boom. It kind of reminds me of Blood Feast.
Well, the percussion was the first instrument.
You can't remember,
Yeah.
but you can't forget.
Grania, this is your father?
Quite a...
Danny fucking Zuko.
Our little boy is waiting.
got that good Irish swagger accent.
Look, I know you think she's different. She's not. She'll run a mile when she comes.
Yeah, like our Colin Farrell. It's
not fair.
Speaking of whom, I revisited Killing of a Sacred Deer the other day.
She's the same as the rest.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch The Lobster?
Yes, but I did not like it.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's funny. But
No, it's not at all.
Because apparently Killing of Sacred Deer is funny.
No, it's not. No.
Which I didn't find it funny.
No, I didn't. No.
I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, if you might find The Lobster funny if you enjoy seeing a dog get stomped to death, which I don't think you would.
No.
Well, there was.
Well, that's why I didn't want to watch. I didn't want to watch Wiener Dog because of that.
What the fuck is Wiener Dog?
I believe it's called Wiener Dog. It's the sequel to Welcome to the Dollhouse.
What?
Did you not realize that there was a sequel?
No. Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm quite sure it's called. But if you look up the director, it's. I'm quite sure it's Wiener Dog.
And Heather Matarazzo's in it?
No.
Oh. Well, then who?
She's played by someone else.
Oh, well, then who gives a shit? When did it come out?
I'm going to say maybe 10 years ago now. You know how time flies when you don't think of things?
Well, that's probably how it flew under my radar because it was probably not good.
Because I think a dachshund gets run over a few times at the end. Was what I read. That's why I was like, I don't really feel like watching that.
That was like when...
I love my dachshunds.
That's like when they did the... well, it was kind of...
To be sure.
It was kind of a sequel to A Christmas Story, but it was more... It was basically more...
unofficial?
No, it was more stories that were based on the author, the essays from the author who wrote A Christmas Story, S.J. Perlman, and it was called "It Runs in the Family," and it had Kieran Culkin in it, but then they did make a made-for-TV sequel called A Christmas Story 2, and it had Daniel Stern in it.
Okay.
I'm scared. Why?
Oh God. This one, I cannot. All right. So we have a mother telling this goes on way too fucking long. We have this whole thing about religion and shit. And then we have the Easter Bunny. You can't see the Easter Bunny. Nobody's allowed to see the Easter Bunny. So what happens? She sees the Easter Bunny. Something bad happens. Boom, we're done.
Yeah.
Again, underdeveloped.
Well, yeah, at first I thought, when the story started happening, I thought it was a bit funny, but then it didn't go or do anything. And so
No,
I just sort of,
it didn't do a fucking thing.
That was a waste. It reminded me of, because I used to watch Bill Maher, and I used to...
I cannot believe you just admitted that. Why would you admit such a thing?
Used to refer to Jesus as being like the zombie messiah or something because of this whole raising from the dead. So I thought I was cackling over her.
Yeah, well,
zombie metaphor.
Well, that's really the big thing that Bill Maher is known for. Him and what's his face that I used to think was cute. Ricky Gervais.
I thought you meant the fuckhead with the podcast on Spotify.
No, but Bill Maher and Ricky Gervais are known for being very, very outspoken atheists.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're an atheist. Good for you. I don't give a shit. But they're the kind of atheists who look down their noses at people who believe differently, which I don't care for.
Yeah.
I'm all for believing whatever you want to believe, but don't ridicule someone just because they think differently than you do.
See, I just took it as it might have been, and to me, I just saw it as an indication of what America's attitude towards religion was like, in that maybe the Christians had too much pull on the legal system
Last year, Daddy was here.
when they shouldn't. You know, there should be more separation of church and state.
Okay, we're not going to go down this road. Okay, this is supposed to be happy, joy, fun times here.
We're going to do a 3-point turn and go back up the road.
Or in your case, a pirouette.
That's not... What the hell are you babbling on about? Although I have heard it called a K-turn, which made sense in my head, because like it's sort of you do the letter K with your car.
Is that the same as a K-hole?
Which I frequently think about far too often. So did the mother decide to have a bit of a flap of the canoe?
Yes, she does. The fucking Jesus / Easter Bunny hybrid monster humanoid thing gave me Wishmaster vibes.
Okay. I just thought, because I remember atheists on my feed commenting on how, well, not atheists, sorry, I know a few witches, and they're sort of saying how the whole Wiccan element of how Easter borrows a lot of on that mythology, and that, you know, that the whole Easter eggs and rabbits and chicks and yada yada yada. Because really, the eggs have nothing to do with Easter. You know, it's
No.
If you're looking at it as a resurrection celebration, everything else is just gravy.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
In one of David Sedaris's books, he has an essay because he moved to France because his partner bought a house in Normandy and he didn't speak the language, so he took classes, and fucking I don't remember how the subject of Easter came up, but the teacher was asking him to describe how he celebrates Easter, or how Americans celebrate Easter, or some shit like that. And he started talking about the Easter Bunny bringing a basket of eggs and blah 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 blah. And the teacher was completely flummoxed, and she said the French word for, you know, rabbit. She said lapin, and like put her fingers up to her head to make the ears. Like, was that what you mean? Because
put her teeth out.
Because apparently the French don't believe in Easter bunnies. What they have is a bell that flies from Spain, and it brings treats to the children. Okay. A giant bell. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Liberty Bell.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That has treats.
What's French for liberty?
I don't know. Oh, it's it's probably liberty.
Yeah. Did he mention anything about Australia in regards to Normandy?
He does talk about, but he has gone to Australia a few times. Yes.
No, I can't. No, I just can't remember if I feel. I know that Australia helped the French in one of the wars, and whether it was Normandy or not, but it doesn't matter. I'll have to look it up later.
He did talk about. I think I told you this before, but he did talk about going to a restaurant in Australia with the kookaburras fly up to the balcony, and apparently the wait staff has bowls of shredded meat to give to the customers if they want to feed the kookaburras, and the kookaburra kill what they eat by like bashing it to death. So
they grind it against the floor.
Well,
with their beak.
Well, he said when he gave the kookaburra a piece of meat, it kept bashing it against the rail that it was sitting on before it ate it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't know it wasn't alive. Because kookaburras are not that smart, okay? Apparently.
Well, they're going to assume that it's a worm. And this is what they have to do usually.
You ever fed a kookaburra?
They're not so common where I am. We get more magpies. But I have.
Yes, I know you do.
You see them around. I feed the magpies meat sometimes.
I don't want to.
And the koala?
No, you don't feed the koalas.
No, you don't feed the
They
koala?
get their own. During the heat, you can leave like buckets of water for them.
Aww.
Generally they'll get their water from the leaves, I reckon. But when it's very hot, you can have them. You can see them. Take it direct from water.
Do they?
It's actually a bit sad because we'll often have footage during the bushfires of seeing koalas being fed, given water like from a water bottle, and they're quite so thirsty for it.
That is a little too precious. Oh. Do you leave water out for them?
Well, they're not really around here where I live.
What the fuck is where you live? Jesus Christ. You live in the most boring part of Australia.
Now. Whereas when I used to live in the hills, I used to have koalas climb the trees, but they had enough water because I had a river behind the house.
So what you're trying to say is the koalas lived in a van down by the river.
Yes.
Well,
now what wildlife do you have living?
We got fucking pigeons and squirrels.
Close to you.
We don't have anything. Pigeons and squirrels, that's it.
We have foxes every now and then. Yeah, that went nowhere.
No, it did not. Again, underdeveloped.
And that was from the Nicholas McCarthy, who has done a few Are You Afraid of the Darks?
Oh, God. And with this one, I thought it was very unusual.
Bad biology?
No. I thought this one was very unusual because the doctor didn't seem at all, phased about all the abortions this girl had. And first of all, you can't have that many abortions. You could die if you had like 30 abortions.
Yeah. It's all very shock value.
You could do some very
conversations.
You could do some very severe internal damage if you have that many abortions. But the doctor's not at all fazed by all these pregnancies, all these abortions. 20 pregnancies, and she said I stopped counting.
Has she tried anal?
Well, there's also oral. Or
yeah, but you can hit this P spot.
Yes, you could hit that. Or you can also.
Or she could do pegging.
Or you can also have the boyfriend put use a strap on. Yes, you could do that.
Or there's ones that they're not strap on. It's like a sock for the penis.
Yes, I
that
know.
extends the penis.
We've spoken about that too.
I'm gonna give you my sister's phone number.
We're in reruns already.
Tears, at least.
We could do a clip show of our dialogue.
Maybe she can give you some sort of insight that the rest of us haven't been able to.
Well, you could definitely do a clip show of how many times we've quoted, or I've quoted Romeo and Michelle.
I've misquoted Romeo.
That's right.
We don't all have the memory of Encyclopedia Brown.
Encyclopedia Brown was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there used to be a TV show on HBO. I used to have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to have one of the books.
Was it a cartoon? Or
No, I believe it
or
was.
No,
I believe it was live action.
yeah.
And if
I don't mind this one because. Sorry, you go.
If I remember correctly, they had the Encyclopedia Brown show back to back with another show that was just called Encyclopedia, and it was an educational show meant to teach children.
I think I might remember that
in a fun way about
What's the rush?
different things.
I'm actually not trying to have a
Yeah.
date right now. Then what are you doing here?
I thought the gentleman in this episode was quite attractive.
The one at the fucking
During the ritual.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of figured I was missing something there.
It all went a bit midsummery.
Again, missed a big something there.
No, well, you didn't see penis or anything.
You did too.
No. Sorry, I meant in this movie. Yeah, in Midsummer you see penis.
Mm-hmm.
Although I discovered an album recently, and it was reminding me of that. I know it's like witchy music. No, I quite liked it. But.
It's witchy music.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the album. That's why I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. So it's like Fight Club.
No, it's very oh god. What's that music festival in the desert?
Burning Man?
Yeah, it's very Burning Man style music. Coachella, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, so it's like EDM witchcraft music.
Yeah, but more tribal EDM. Though I will say my favorite one, my favorite episodes from this. I'm saying episodes, storylines from this
segment
movie were probably I quite liked Father's Day. That was the only one I could remember from beginning to end, and I found interesting enough. And probably St. Patrick's Day. Whereas this one, I like even watching it now, and I only watched this a few days ago, like a week ago. I can't really remember the ending. And I was sort of feeling that way with some of them as well. Is that I've lost interest in some of them.
I wonder why that is.
It just didn't hold me. But yeah. I think the fact that this one kind of felt more like a music video clip, I gravitated towards, as opposed to was repelled by.
No. out of all of them, I thought the absolute worst was the last one, the New Year's Eve one. That was
Oh,
so...
okay. I didn't mind New Year's Eve.
Oh my god, it was so stupid.
Yes. I can handle stupid.
And plus it has...
And I can handle you.
Oh, thank you. And plus it has that girl who was married to Eli Roth, who was in Knock Knock and fucking The Green Inferno.
Yeah.
Who is a terrible, terrible actress.
Well, you don't know what she's like in real life. Maybe it's not an act.
I'm sure I don't want to know. This is very Midsummer. I think Ari Aster ripped it off.
No, he ripped off The Wicker Man. But in saying that, I don't mind people ripping off if it's done well.
I don't necessarily think he ripped off The Wicker Man. I think it was folk horror.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't saying that personally. People were trying to use that argument in general, whereas I kind of feel very much a case of get over it. See, I don't remember what happens after this point. That's what I was saying, is that I remembered all the way up until here, and then like, oh, what happened?
Oh my god. Did you... Oh, I know what I was going to tell you when we were talking off mic. Did you hear about the new series on Netflix that is about a washed up rock star who dies and comes back from the dead to avenge those who wronged him?
No, I haven't.
Guess who plays the washed up rock star? Hold on to your nipples.
Can you give me a hint? It's not Russell Brand?
No.
Okay.
We've spoken about him and made fun of him before because he thinks he's a rock star and he's not.
Oh god. Russell Crowe. Okay, no, who is it?
Corey Feldman.
Let me know. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't think I'll watch that. There is a show that I want to watch, and I only remembered yesterday about it. I think it's called Archive 81. Have you ever seen any of that?
Mm-mm.
I reckon it's called Archive 81, and it's about like a guy who has to reassemble videos that were destroyed in like a fire type of thing.
Like movies?
And he starts seeing creepy images.
Oh, so it's fiction. Oh.
Yes, yeah.
She can't hear us anyways.
And I reckon I think I like the St. Patrick's because I feel that when you have short stuff like this, you need a healthy humor.
Well, the thing that really bothered me about this as a whole is the attempt at wit and irony with the segments. Okay. And if you're going to have an anthology, it has to have irony more than anything else. And the attempt at irony is so weak, and you can see it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And the weakest, for me, as I said, the New Year's one was, oh, he's a killer. He's going to kill her. But wait, oh, she's actually a killer too. Now she kills him.
See, I didn't mind that. It reminded me of that other anthology we did recently where you had the two mythological killers killing each other, and the alien came, and yada. I just thought it was
What
enjoyably
the fuck
stupid.
movie was that?
I thought it was that one with the narrator from The Fog.
Oh, the Tales of Halloween. Yeah, this.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
that, like that Jason one where he kills the girl and then she gets an alien inside of her, and
Oh,
they start
I barely remember that
killing
movie.
her.
'Cause
You blocked it.
I did not like it, no. I thought this was worse.
Okay.
I mean, I got a few.
I think I preferred it for having less stories.
Well, Tales of Halloween had Tiffany Shepis and a bunch of other horror icons in it, so that helped. This has got Seth Green. This has got Seth Green,
Kevin Smith's daughter,
and Kevin Smith's daughter, and the terrible ex-wife, actress ex-wife of Eli Roth.
This is like the nepotism of anthology movies.
Sort of. Well, no, I don't think Eli Roth had anything to do with it.
No, but like it stars. It has people who are associated, like 2 degrees of separation. Now, quiet. This is my favorite one. Just kidding.
The Father's Day one is your favorite one?
Well, I thought it yes, yeah. I will actually say that.
Well, I do enjoy Jocelyn Donahue, and she reminds me so fucking much of Rachel McAdams.
Okay. See, she reminds me more of... There's a British actress who was in Scream 3.
Oh.
She reminds me of her.
Parker Posey.
No, British actress.
I was being facetious.
Isn't that your drag name?
No, that's your drag name.
No, yeah, that's right. Facetious Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
Because every other day is Father's Day.
All right, settle.
Why is he sending her a Father's Day present?
I don't know.
Very nice of him to give her the cassette player as well. Because if someone were to send me a cassette...
Well, I think if he had this packaged and sent and ready to go at the time that he did, he probably would have just sent her a cassette tape, not knowing that in 2016 there would be like no way in hell that you'd be able to fucking play a cassette tape unless you have an ancient boombox.
Well, she could have played it in her car. Her car was quite old.
Oh, really?
Although I saw a cassette player the other day, and I was tempted to actually buy it, but I've got no cassettes. So.
Well,
and even more weird, I went to there's a discount shop close to my mum's, and they were still selling blank VHS tapes.
Wow. Who the fuck is recording stuff off of TV and shit?
Like serial killers. Yeah, but actually, even that wouldn't happen. I was going to say people recording from camcorders, but people don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. Definitely not VHS camcorders.
No.
If they're going to record from a camcorder, it's going to be a GoPro or something.
Yes.
Something that has a hard drive in it.
It'll be straight onto YouTube or something.
Yes.
I left this message in trust with good people. I told them to give this to you when you were old enough, strong enough.
And how old is she supposed to be? In her 30s, I would assume.
Let's say.
You know, she used to be a She used to be, I don't remember what brand, but she used to be a jeans model. I think for Guess. I think.
Were you a prep girl?
Yes, she was a model for Prep.
Levi's? No, I couldn't remember.
Levi's, Wrangler, Oshkosh Bagosh?
Cut my hair. God, the daughter looks like a monster in the pictures.
Sure, Jan. I'll go first because I'm the prettiest.
I always loved when Jan suggests like entering the contest and everyone's like, "You're so stupid." And then later Marsha's like, "Oh, I heard about this contest. They win $20,000.
Oh my god, and Eric Nies hosted. I used to have such a fucking crush on him.
What was he famous from?
The Real World.
Oh, okay. You know, apparently, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead was going to be called The Real World.
Yes, I know.
That was its original title.
Yes, I know that. I knew that for like decades now. Okay? Okay, Jan?
Oh, I didn't.
All right, Jan?
Sure, Stan.
God.
Oh, she's got a Salika. She would have been so popular in my high school. If she was a boy with a Salika.
I love RuPaul in the Brady Bunch movies. And I wanted him to have a bigger part, but I think because he has such a small part, it makes it so much more funny and effective that he has those little cameos. I like it better in the second one when he's at the pool. Mrs. Cummings.
No, I liked when she's the guidance counselor, and she's like, "Oh, what's the problem? School pregnancy, drugs," and then Jan's like, "No, it's my glasses." Hello, Carol.
Who the fuck is named Carol?
Yeah. Carol Brady. That's why we've been thinking of the Brady Bunch.
Yes, because of Christmas Carol.
First, we're going towards the exit. Then we are heading south on Revelle Avenue. It's this way.
So Papa is like some kind of fucking humanoid and shit. And he wants her to fucking join him in his nether world. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like it. You know what?
So the story. I liked the whole vibe of this one. It kept me enthralled to the end.
Did it though? Really?
Not to say the ending was excellent.
No, it was not.
It kept me wondering.
It was terrible.
Where
It was terrible. It was all terrible.
And then Daria got killed by a monkey.
No! Did you hear that?
What did I hear?
He said, "Wow, that's a good-looking stick." And then I heard it does look magic. Oh, this sounds so inappropriate.
Sounds like a grinder pickup.
No, it sounds worse because it's a recording of a father and daughter.
And then it's telling her where to go to meet up with her?
Yeah.
Meet up with her?
Yeah, to show him his magical stick. That's exactly what the purpose was.
Go into the bedroom.
It's like, if you want to see Daddy's magical stick, just follow these instructions where it'll be nice and private. And I'll show you how to use it.
Okay, you see that tub of Crisco as you enter the door.
Mm-hmm.
Dip your hand into that.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it covers you up to the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now after that, go down the hallway, take the second left, and slowly open the door.
But you forgot to tell me to dip my penis in the cocaine.
Well, the cocaine is already at the tip of my back crack, so you need to slide your cock.
Oh my god! You always gotta go one step too far.
I like to know the limits.
Yeah, well, okay. Some people have boundaries, okay. So you need to pull back and pull out, okay? All right.
I don't think the audience needs to know about my foreskin.
Yeah, be strong for daddy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you gotta be strong.
He does sound very like if he was talking to a submissive, it would sound so much hotter.
Yes, we know how much you love B&D and S&M. And A&W root beer.
Yes, I don't mind A&W. Though I don't like Dr. Pepper.
I haven't had Dr. Pepper in years.
It tastes medicinal.
What's the main ingredient, like rhubarb or something? Or what is it? It's like
rhubarb. It's
some kind of vegetable or something. I think it's
okay.
Radishes.
Really?
I think that's what it is.
Isn't that what Shelbyville drinks?
No.
You know, after they took back the haunted lemon tree.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it just tastes like it's bordering on arsenic. So it reminds you of almonds.
I'm pretty sure it's rhubarb or radishes or something like that in there.
Well, rhubarb is poisonous.
Then how do people make rhubarb pie?
Well, the leaves are poisonous.
Okay. Well,
it's very tart. Actually, I might get some apple and rhubarb pie one day. You put that in my head. There's a nice little apple stand that does that in the hills.
I was promoted to manager of the Gap because the old manager tried to kill herself by eating a whole pot of poinsettias.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I was quoting Janine Garofalo yet again, this time in Reality Bites.
I haven't seen Reality Bites.
Well,
it's one I kept wanting to get. I think I kept renting it, but never watched it.
I don't even know who you are.
Although they
anymore.
say that's a movie that's got a better soundtrack than movie.
No, that's not true at all.
Yeah, I thought a lot of people liked Reality Bites. So
Reality Bites was such a big fucking hit when it came out.
Put Ethan Hawke on the map again.
Yes, and Winona Ryder.
And then she did that. You know what I thought really put her against public opinion wasn't the stealing, but her reaction to getting found guilty.
I know. She got
That was like
a
what?
$5,000 fine, and didn't she get community service too?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
I will never forget that look on her face. She's like, oh.
Like, how fucking dare this happen? You know, and I think that really just made people turn against her.
She really never came back.
More than anything.
I can't believe she never came back from that.
Well, I've never seen that show she's in now.
Yeah, Stranger Things. I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
But I remember being really excited in the early aughts when she did a movie called Sex and Death 101. Because it was written by the same writer who did Heathers.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so good. It's the same writer who did Heathers, one of the best movies of the 80s, and it's got Winona Ryder. It's going to be her comeback. And yeah, it was awful.
Yeah. I will say I did like her very much in Black Swan, but she only had like 3 minutes, so it's not...
I don't even remember her being in Black Swan.
She's the one who stabs herself in the face.
Oh, no, Winona. Horowitz.
It was on her rider that she gets to stab someone.
Okay, so we'll get everything squared away immediately.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of what you just said there?
Yeah, you responded.
She just didn't realize it was herself. I feel like this was the precursor to OnlyFans.
It's on your webcam. It's pretty much
Why does OnlyFans come up so often on this podcast?
Well, it's because of your plugs at the beginning.
Okay, we don't need to talk about my plugs.
What do you tell your parents?
Well, your hair's looking good now. See, yeah, I feel this was my least favorite one.
It's so bad. It's like these 3 girls are watching a cartoon, decide they're witches, and then fucking put a fucking car battery operated dildo up the fucking guy's ass and make him cut his own dick off.
Yeah. It all just seems to...
He called me a what?
Stuff just happens.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, oh, God. Kevin Smith, I may not like everything that he's done. Okay? I'm looking at you, Tusk.
See, I like Tusk.
I know you do.
You carry on.
But he is someone you can tell by his writing that he takes pride in his dialogue in particular and in story structure. This feels very much like he just phoned it in.
See, I don't feel that way with story, but in saying that, I watched his I went to a speech a demonstration.
Oh, he's a talker and
presentation
he
did. Yeah,
he doesn't
he
shut
talked
the fuck
about
up.
Tusk.
He talks about what?
But it was basically he talked about Tusk.
Oh, did
and
he?
It was basically he described it. He really just meandered through the whole story. The story just it was like step, and here we have a story. You know, he didn't seem to know where it was going, and I kind of feel that way with a fair few of his movies.
Asshole called her a whore and then signed off.
They're supposed to type dirty shit. That's why they give us their money.
Okay, well, nobody's giving us their money tonight.
Yeah, so why don't you give us the night off so we can cheer Serena up and celebrate Halloween?
See, she always sounds so Canadian, even though she's
Celebrate Halloween. Well, I don't know. I think it's better than people who say Halloween. That drives me crazy.
Halloween. Or Halloween.
It's Halloween, not Halloween. That's the way Rob Zombie says it. Halloween. Like Hail. Oween. Halloween.
They want to come to Hollywood and work for me. So,
ABC.
always be camming, bitches. Because the next generation's coming.
Have you seen that movie Cam?
I did, and I didn't mind it.
I thought it was okay, but it didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it was about the AI taking over her
Yeah.
sex feed, wasn't it? Yeah. I thought it was interesting, but I think
And then I thought the ending was ridiculous.
Why don't I put one of you sluts to work?
yeah.
How's that sound?
Not just her bashing her face, but after everything that she'd gone through, she went back on the cam.
Yeah.
What? And the screenplay was written by a former cam girl, so I guess that's why it ended the way it did.
The horror of it is they go back to work.
Yeah, she had things.
I'm the oldest 18-year-old woman I know.
See, this speech could have been left out. I think this is where I don't like Kevin's writing as much as when he does this type of monologue.
big
I
mistake.
was actually thinking,
Know why?
this reminded me of
Put 3 women in a
what happened with my cousin.
Oh, she was a cam girl and became a witch after watching a cartoon.
No. What?
You got that?
So
Witches.
my cousin's brother-in-law, I forget his name. Let's call him Luke.
Always strongest in threes. You fuck.
His mother went to a psychic, just incidentally,
Witches now.
and the son came up in conversation, and
Witch.
the psychic was saying how
This broomstick.
he had a girlfriend who he treated so badly, and it created such a universal negativity, and now he's the recipient of such bad karma. And because the mum had sort of asked about why things were going so badly for him, and so just sort of I feel like I would have preferred that type of storyline than this storyline where this guy was treating the women just so badly that the payback sort of started happening without as much
Of a build-up.
Yeah.
Well, the whole fucking thing basically takes place in real time over the course of like 15 minutes.
Yeah. See, their sudden need to torture him came about quite
out of nowhere. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, they watched a cartoon, decided they were witches, and it would have made more sense if they were watching The Craft.
They couldn't get the rights.
No, well, clearly not.
I'm sure they could get the rights to the sequel.
Probably.
They'd be giving that away.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think you could do that.
Or even I was thinking what I would have preferred to what happened. Like there's stuff I would have preferred to happen than what actually happens in this sequence.
I would have preferred none of it to happen at all.
There was a thriller that I liked called Untraceable with
with Diane Lane.
Yeah, Lane, sorry. And see, I think I would have preferred that type of thing where the audience was deciding what was going to happen to this guy as opposed to the girls sort of...
Yeah, that was good.
Suddenly becoming torturous.
I saw that once when it first came out, but it was good. I like... when Colin Hanks first started out, I refused to like give him a chance because he was Tom Hanks. So I was like, okay. But he's actually a good actor.
Yeah. See, but even here, if I were to read someone say to me, "Show us your pussy," I would think that they were saying my asshole.
Well, of course
he goes
you
away to
would.
cutting off his penis.
You would think that. This is so stupid.
See, maybe they're making a grammatical error again and saying, "Show us your pussy."
Uh-huh. No.
Are you fucking bitches fucked in the head? What the fuck is
Lord.
wrong with you? This is fucking insane.
God, this is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Tusk is better than this. Speaking of Diane Lane, did I ever ask you, do you like Unfaithful?
I have not seen Unfaithful.
For God's sake.
I wanted to, and I think I saw maybe a few minutes of it when it was on telly, but I wanted to watch it from the beginning, and I never got around to it. Let me write it down. Why do you ask?
Well, because you brought up Diane Lane, and because I enjoy it.
Oh no, but what do you like about Unfaithful?
I like it. I think it's good.
Olivia Martinez.
Oh yes, Olivier. He was. beautiful.
Apparently, there's a scene where there's a strong wind, and that was done using like a jet propeller.
Yeah, that's how they meet each other in the beginning of the movie. I saw that theatrically when it first came out.
Okay.
With my ex. Who was, I think, unfaithful to me.
Was he giving you like side eye throughout the whole movie?
No. No, but okay, well, let me just say this.
Saying, oh, who could do that?
Let me just say this. This is a thing that happens all the time. And I fell for it because I was 20 at the time and didn't know any better. But he lived with who he said was his ex, and they had a strictly platonic relationship. He kept saying he didn't even like him, he wasn't attracted to him. It was merely for convenience sake. But yeah, I found out later that they were still together, and I was just the side piece.
Oh, okay. So did the ex know that you were?
I don't
around?
think so.
Yeah. So you were the other man.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was Olivier Martinez.
That's a good one. Tell another one.
But yeah, I should. Well, he used to lie about a lot of like weird things.
Was he a Scorpio?
I don't fucking know. Probably, but no, I think he was a Virgo. And that's the thing. I'm a Virgo, and I've had relationships with 3 Virgos, and none of them.
Yeah.
What? Maybe 4. And they never go well. I can't be in a relationship with another Virgo. But
yeah.
I remember he would like tell me stories about things, and like I would ask for proof, and he'd be like, "No." And
let's take my word for it.
He used to tell me that he spoke fluent French, and I asked him to translate the French verse in Paradise Not For Me. And he said what she's saying is the chorus in French. No, it's not. Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
Yeah, so he was a bit of a compulsive liar.
Yeah, I tend to gravitate toward those. Speaking of gravitating toward people.
Gravity,
exactly.
It's that molten core of lies.
Mm-hmm. I have trouble.
And here we have our only A grade big adjacent.
This is a
actor.
C+ at best. And I have trouble picturing him or believing him to be a father.
Yeah.
I can't take him seriously as a father.
I can, because I feel that he probably is, as an actor, a father. Like that he has kids now.
Probably.
Because I think he's married to the actual woman. Who
Yes, he is. Yes. Or he was at that time. I don't know if they're still together.
But one hope.
I swear I could kill him, Scrooge.
Is Robot Chicken still going, if you know?
I don't watch Adult Swim.
Ah, I used to love Robot Chicken. Infrequently.
I'm at the end of my rope. How much was this thing anyway? I hope you didn't overspend.
She's a terrible actor. Fucking, I thought the whole twist with her being into fucking weird fucking it's more extreme than sadomasochism, but
Mm.
And then, how could you be married to somebody for this long and not know what their sexual fetishes are?
Yeah.
You don't all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm into extreme fucking torture.
Yeah, it aggregates your online
Well,
identity.
yeah, how she
Yeah,
can
what you show.
control herself from not slapping him.
Congratulations, Captain. You're the first person to walk on Mars.
You gotta try it, Dad.
Am I gonna see what you saw?
Though this, I guess, of
For everyone.
most of them, this one sort of reminded me of something that could have been on Tales from the Crypt.
No. Well, yes, maybe like
No. Okay, yes.
well, like maybe season 6 when it all went to shit. Okay, yeah.
Well, because often with those, there's the formula of someone dying and then the person sort of getting their comeuppance at the end because of that person dying.
Well, generally with Tales from the Crypt is someone dies and then they come back from the dead, a lot of the time for no reason, and then they avenge their death by going after whoever was the cause of it.
Yeah.
That was a very simple formula that they repackaged many a time. But
Yeah.
that was because they did it so often in the comic books.
Yes. Yeah. I've done virtual reality amusement park games, and I've got sick. So I have no desire to try virtual reality goggles.
I remember virtual reality was like a big thing in the mid 90s, but the technology really wasn't there, and then it disappeared for like 20 years, and then all of a sudden it came back. I was like, wait, what? This is a thing again? More?
Everything old is new again. Like around the Lawnmower Man days.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a shit ass movie.
I remember it was very popular and it wasn't that good.
Okay, bag them up. We need the fridge space.
Well, you know that's not what the story is about, right?
It says on your website that.
What was the story about? About the mentally challenged guy getting...
Yes, he's a big fat man who strips down naked and just eats the grass.
Really? Is that the story?
Yes!
Oh my god, where the hell did they get the virtual reality?
I don't know. And then, yeah, because it was originally promoted as Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man, and then he sued to get his name off of it because this is not what my story is about at all. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I remember his pubic hair was made of grass, too.
Oh my god. Although that sort of then sounds a bit like the creep show that Stephen King was in, where he started turning into grass.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him to stay with a friend. You forgot to log out, Pete.
And then they made The Lawnmower Man 2.
Yes.
With Austin O'Brien. No, was that him? Or was he in the first one?
I saw everything.
Brian Austin Green.
No. From My Girl 2.
I thought it was Faye was the guy in the
Jeff Fahey was the Lawnmower Man, yeah. But
and Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan was in it. But there was a kid who was his name was Job. I don't know why I remember that.
Okay.
But Jeff Fahey,
Old School Testament.
Jeff Fahey's name was Job, and he was because he had the mind of a child. He was friends with Austin O'Brien, I think. I know he was friends with a kid, but I don't remember if Austin O'Brien was in the first one or the second one.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was the first one. And I generally don't like Jeff Fahey as an actor. He kind of annoys me.
What else has he been in?
Oh, well, he's been in a lot of movies that I try to avoid. I know he was in Psycho 3.
Okay.
He was in that. Speaking of anthologies, he was in that anthology movie Body Bags.
Oh, yeah. And that had John Carpenter as the host, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a lot of horror people in it, horror directors. Like Joe, I think Joe Dante's in it too.
Yeah.
I hope you're not afraid of the dark, Ed. Shouldn't give me that bum his head.
So much of this is just so implausible. And by this, I mean the entire movie.
This is what happens to
It had
people just like you.
Dexter quality.
Nice, hell.
Speaking of gravitating, Seth Green is somebody that I would probably gravitate toward, not because of the ginger factor, but namely because he's short.
Okay.
He's probably as tall as me.
Plus the ginger, I'm sure.
Well, he's not really my kind of ginger because his red's a little too red.
Oh, okay. I think he has a nice beard when he lets it out. And I thought it was funny enough in Will and Grace.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying he's not really my type physically.
Yeah.
I like idle hands.
I want to pretend like
Oh, yeah.
but you.
I'm sure you don't have that issue.
No, my hands are always working, baby. Well, didn't she come after him with the electric knife? An electric knife?
Yes.
Well, that, speaking of idle hands, that was, he had
Yes,
that.
that's right.
Look at me, I'm Leatherface.
Tonight at midnight, I want to kiss someone.
And here we have the
I remember Tim
worst,
trying to figure out the hand.
the worst segment of the entire fucking movie. Whatever the fuck her name is. Riza. Something Riza.
This is from the director of Daniel Isn't Real.
Yeah. Malcolm Egypt.
AdamEgyptMortimer.
Yeah, I was close. AdamEgyptMortimer. I was close.
Malcolm.
Daniel Isn't Real wasn't all that great either.
Okay.
It wasn't awful, but it was.
No, I never saw it, but I saw a lot of hype around it. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was very different in the book.
Yeah.
Um,
How was Taylor Swift's ex? Wasn't he in it?
yeah, Patrick Schwarzenegger. He was fine.
Oh, yeah.
No, he wasn't. That was
I think
Miley
her
Cyrus.
ex was Eastwood.
Miley Cyrus went out with Patrick Schwarzenegger.
But who's Clint Eastwood's son?
I
I feel like she went out with him.
don't know.
Patrick East? No, I don't.
I don't know.
Let it go. I'm talking to me here.
But from what I hear, he does strip down, and that's probably the best part of the movie.
You're great. You're the best chicken.
Yeah. Now that is Maria Shriver's son, isn't it? It's not.
I
the
think
main
so.
son.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, she's alright.
Well, because I feel I've seen pictures of
Do you brush a lot? I don't know.
Schwarzenegger
I guess so.
and the other one, the bastard, and they look different.
The bastard.
The bastard.
Well, his mother is Hispanic, isn't he? Isn't she?
Yes.
So,
But the son looks very like he couldn't hide the fact that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
Sorry, it was it's just the nerves.
It's like, oh, they look similar.
I never found anything remotely attractive or sexy about Arnold Schwarzenegger at all, ever in my life. Never.
I prefer his body doubles than I do him.
Yeah, like the one in Reanimator.
dates act like I'm crazy. but
Reanimator.
lasting.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
The
yeah.
corpse.
You know, people say that those dating websites
Yes,
are bullshit,
yeah.
but I mean,
But not friends with someone on Facebook, but like follow someone on Facebook who was his nude double in the more recent Terminators, like Terminator 4 or 5. Or...
He had a nude double. Well, that's good because he's like in his 70s now.
Well, no, it was he played the young Terminator, but they digitally changed the face so it looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh God, that's another thing that I'm really glad that my vision has deteriorated to the point where I don't have to see that nonsense anymore or at all. Like when what they did with that Robert De Niro movie.
Oh yeah.
They tried to make them all
see,
look
but
young.
not like that. So it wasn't that at all. That would if that were the case, that would have been Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the Terminator and then making him look younger. This was the case of I think Eric was his name, Eric Asder or something.
Why would you apologize for that?
Playing the Terminator and just changing his face so it's
and I know you don't like
Arnold's.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is he leather-faced. That's what you're trying to say?
Yes. And it's a very leathery face.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. I'm just thinking how two serial killers would interact with each other. I feel like it would be more, I guess, interesting than this, or something like. I don't think she would be as shy, or something.
Well, I don't think she really knows because she doesn't know how to act at all.
Well, this is how she is with Eli.
Was. Thank God they're not together anymore, because that means she's not going to be in any more of his terrible movies.
Was it a bad separation?
I don't know. But I know that they dated for a couple years before they got married, and they weren't married very long.
Yeah. I could imagine him being a bit hard to be married.
Oh, yes. Because I don't think anybody loves Eli Roth more than Eli Roth, so... Yeah, no. I think...
Like, I almost feel bad for her that... that, were she not married to Eli Roth, she wouldn't be in movie. Like, she would have had to have become a better actress to get into movies.
Maybe.
But because she sort of had that shortcut to get in, she didn't have to work as hard.
I think that's why he and Quentin Tarantino get along so well, because they're both extreme narcissists.
Well, but I think also, I'm sure Eli strokes Quentin's ego.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, the whole reason they became friendly is because Quentin saw Cabin Fever and liked it, and said I want to meet this guy and I want to hang out with him, and a friendship blossomed from there. And then the next thing you know, Quentin is producing Hostel. And Eli Roth is in fucking
Inglourious Bastards.
Well, I was gonna go with that other movie. Fucking, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Death Proof?
Yeah. Whose character served nothing at all to the plot. It was almost like it was written.
It was forgettable. I can't. Yeah. What segment was he in? The
The
very
first one,
bit?
yeah. He
Or
was in the
second-
bar.
Yeah, because the second bit was It was Rose McGowan. In that Party City blonde wig.
I like her as a blonde.
Yeah, she was fine. I liked her being in both because they were sort of saying how that sort of made it feel more like a grindhouse where you have the same actors just playing different roles.
I didn't like Planet Terror at all.
I thought it was quite true to what I imagined. Whereas I felt that with Death Proof, Quentin liked the story too much to fuck it up. As much as Robert Rodriguez did with like the image. You know, I enjoyed Robert Rodriguez's like scratching up the celluloid and like dripping magenta into certain scenes to make it seem like a really ruined reel.
Is this garbage over already?
And it's another fairly long, well, it's about 7 minutes.
That's long.
Well, when you have some that are only like the length of a song, and then you have this one, which is...
Well, I noticed that a lot of the
Sweet Child
time,
Mine.
credit
November.
sequences are like 3.5 minutes.
Yes.
But nowadays, really, it's become a thing to just put the title at the beginning of the movie and then save all of the credits for the very end. So it's like, you know, you just get the title and then at the end you get a 10-minute credit sequence.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Or if it's like Bandy, you have the title like an hour into it.
They did that with
Climax as well.
Fresh.
Oh, really?
The title comes in at like 33 minutes.
Yeah.
It was weird. But I did enjoy Fresh very much.
Something that I quite like about old movies is when they would have a fairly long opening title and then there'd be almost no credits at the end.
I do recall growing up watching many a horror movie that had opening titles on just white text with a black background. That was because they couldn't afford to do anything else. Back then, it was pretty costly to have text on a moving image.
Yep.
So that was why they used to do it that way.
Just a slide, yeah.
So that was fucking whatever that movie was called.
Panavision Ireland. Yeah, I discovered this movie when we did Starry Eyes because I was looking at their back catalogue of movies and saw this one.
So you heard of it before I mentioned doing it for the podcast?
Yeah, and also I reckon in a list of unknown horror and horror movies for the holidays.
Well, you didn't mention it to me, bitch.
Well, I think it was at a time when I didn't think you wanted to do anthologies.
When the fuck did I say that?
Well, maybe I just created that idea in my head.
Well, you are quite delusional.
Yes. This is my choir.
This is like that fucking song.
De moi.
Yes! Yeah, they play that in Single Way Female at the sex club.
Oh, yeah, and but they have that real not techno beat, but that
it's a club beat, yeah.
That soft drum.
That was a pretty big song at the time.
Yes, yeah. Was it Enigma?
No.
No, okay. But I do remember it.
Enigma was a cornball. band.
Enigma?
Yeah.
No, they had that, like, Return to Innocence.
That was not a cornball song?
Okay, fine. And they had We Came Out from the Deep. Yeah, that's not. See, I thought the music sort of it reminded me of like the bedtime stories type of drum beat, where it was that level of techno and drum beats. Are you still there?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I really think that this is the fucking choir from that song. Unless this is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. They have I forget what they're called, but they're probably just called something like, I think they're called the gay men's, is it the gay men's chorus? I think. I don't know. But it's a choir of all gay men who perform completely naked.
Oh, okay. So you can tell the castratos.
Yes, you can. Yes. From the falsettos. Yes. And the what do you call it? Baritones.
See, this actually is making me want to yawn.
I know. It's putting me to fucking sleep.
And actually yawn to the song that they're doing.
One would think that they would put something... I mean, I guess because it's not really a Christmas movie per se, they didn't really want to put something Christmassy, so I think they had to put something that was kind of neutral.
They could have done like Celebration, not the Madonna one.
Good, because that's a terrible song.
Anyway, that New Year's one was written by the Starry Eyes writers.
The which one?
The last one, the New Year's Eve. Was
they wrote that garbage too?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was just directed by Adam.
Oh, God. Well, at least we know that they've improved.
Yeah. They've
gotten better.
They clean their shoes after stepping in it.
Yes.
Because they've gone on to Pet Sematary.
Although
I haven't actually seen that, so I can't actually say if it's any good
you
or not.
had to remind me. Oh, I forgot about that. No, it's not good. It's not good. And
what would you say is better, Pet Sematary 2 or the remake?
I love Pet Sematary 2.
I saw it and didn't mind it. It was okay.
I think it's fun in a campy kind of way. It's like
it was like a bit hammy.
It's like American Psycho and American Psycho 2. It's like if you watch the second one without expecting what you got in the first one, and it's like the Blair Witch Project and Blair Witch 2. And you accept them
see,
as
with that one, I
totally
wasn't a huge
different
fan of part one either. But.
Totally different movies. I mean, Pet Sematary is such an iconic movie, and it really gets on my nerves that people say, "Oh my god, it doesn't hold up." Yeah, it does. It really does. I think the death of Gage is probably one of the most disturbing moments in any horror movie ever, and you don't even see anything except for a shoe on the road. Yeah, they don't do that in the remake, by the way.
Oh, okay. What do they do? Nothing? As in they just hear the noise?
The daughter gets killed, not Gage.
Oh, okay. Oh, People are so scared of killing kids these days.
Well, I think that was probably because they knew that the chances of getting an actor, a child actor like Miko Hughes, was going to be a tall order. Somebody that age who could do what he did in that movie. So they were probably like, yeah, let's just kill off the older one. So they killed Ellen. That's really all I remember about that movie because it was so fucking forgettable.
Yeah. Well, just looking at it, the original got 6.5 out of 10, whereas the remake got 5.7 out of 10.
And I remember when John Lithgow was being interviewed, and they were asking if he was going to do a Maine accent, and he was like, "No, because then people are going to think that I'm doing an impression of Fred Gwynn." Well, if your character is born and raised in Maine, kind of makes sense that you'd have a Maine accent.
Suddenly got a different accent, yeah.
I mean, you could take the role and make it your own. You're a fucking actor. And a seasoned one at that, too. He's been around, 50 years?
Yeah. It's like being cast to do Abe Lincoln, but not wanting to do his accent because you don't want to make fun of him.
Don't want to wear the hat. No. I don't remember what it was, but I remember some. What the fuck was it? I remember some remake of something that was a really popular movie, and they didn't do the more modern thing where they have all different characters for the remake. It was the same characters, but I remember some of the actors in it like really going out of their way. I think, you know what it was? I think it was the for the 40th. Was it the 40th? Yeah, for the 40th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the BBC did a live version.
Okay.
And it felt very much like some, not all, but some of the actors who were in it were really trying to go out of their way not to recreate the performances from the original movie. And it was really noticeable. Like the guy who did Frankenfurter was trying so hard not to be Tim Curry.
Yep. Who was playing Frankenfurter?
I never heard of any of them. I think they were all English actors.
Okay. I think I told you I saw the one with Laverne Cox as Frankenfurter.
I didn't bother.
I did not like.
I didn't bother.
Well, I only saw a little bit of it, and what I saw, I didn't really. There's a grittiness to Rocky Horror that was completely lacking in this remake of it.
Well, that was a staged version, wasn't it?
Yes, it wasn't. Yeah, I'm quite sure that was the case. Yeah. But I don't know if there was an audience or anything.
Oh. I think I wanted to watch this one because it wasn't like really crazy sophisticated, kind of like, Grease was and shit. They did it more like the original Rocky Horror Show stage play.
Yeah.
And I think that was why I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I watched a stage version of Jesus Christ Superstar with Sporty Spice and
Oh my
Tim Minchin.
God.
And I enjoyed it, and that was just really a camera on a stage, and it was fun, and I could enjoy that,
So that's what she's doing now, musical theater.
She's playing Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, because nothing says Mary Magdalene like a
Butch Dyke.
Let the record show Tony said it. I did not.
We were all thinking it. No, I'm just kidding. I hate it when people's quote is, people hate me because I say what everyone's thinking. It's like, no, they don't. They just hate you.
You're a cunt.
Annoying. Yes. I always liked the roast of Joan Rivers. One of the comedians was saying, Joan likes to say she says what everyone's thinking, but then why hasn't she said, what the fuck have I done to my face?
Well, she has. That used to be a big part of her routine or her stand-up was, let me make fun of how ridiculous I look before everybody else does.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't get that. I mean, if you know you look absurd, why the fuck did you keep going under the knife and making yourself look worse? Because by the end, she looked like a weird, fuck. She didn't even look human.
It's sort of like gambling addicts where they think that the next one will make them look normal. Like that, they'll recoup it all with the next one.
I have a cousin who went to school for nursing, and then I don't think she was able to get the job that she wanted. So now she's doing Botox and lip injections. So, and she only went to school for that for a day.
Oh,
that's all you have to do. One day of school to be able to learn how to stick needles in people's faces and lips.
Well, can't you do it like a Tupperware party, like a Nutrimedics, where people come in and?
Well, that was a
injection?
thing for a while, yeah. But that was a big thing. That was a big story about that. I don't remember, like 10 years ago or something. It became quite common. But the quote unquote doctors were
the Dr. Oz.
injecting, the Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil. They were injecting like the equivalent of motor oil into people's faces. And I remember Priscilla Presley was one of them. Yeah. And she had like so much skin damage that she had a hole materialized in the side of her face from it.
Yeah.
And they have, are you ready for this? They also, this is how superficial fucking people in Beverly Hills are. Sorry if you're in Beverly Hills and you're listening to this, but you're plastic.
I think they left.
I hate to tell you.
Okay.
But they actually have parties for vaginal reconstruction where like you literally are in somebody's house and then you can go in the dining room, lie down on the fucking table, spread them, and the doctor will trim your labia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not what you don't do that.
I feel like trimming the labia would make it looser.
Well, when you get older, it hangs. The lips, they start to sag.
Yeah.
So you got to trim, or wait, what's the difference between, no, labia is the right word. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think the vulva is the an element.
Again, why do we keep going to these places? And it's generally me where I start talking like a gynecologist. Like I know the ins and outs, so to speak, of the female reproductive organs. But yeah, they go and they get their lips snipped, and then the fucking doctor bandages him up and says, next. And it's like, okay, my turn, huh?
No sex for a week.
I do remember hearing a horror story about it. I think that's how it came out, because something happened to one of the girls. I don't remember. It was a while ago that I heard about it.
They cut it horizontally.
Yes. Yeah, they gave her a happy face. What?
Grace guys are going to clear up. I remember there was an ad from India about a vaginal tightening cream where it was like a Bollywood thing where the girl was singing like a virgin.
Oh my God. I was going to say, if you're stupid enough to believe that there's a cream that can tighten your vagina, but there are women who believe that there are creams that can increase your bust. So,
okay. Well, if you use toilet paper, that can help.
Yes, it can.
It worked on my bottom.
It did. Yeah, it did. It did that. It worked on my front. My
Well, yeah, I guess maybe they're thinking sort of like how the hemorrhoid cream tightens up your face. If they think that works, then maybe they can use it vaginally.
Well, you'd have to put it in. You have to put it inside then. And I wouldn't want to put something like that inside me.
Yeah, but you don't have a vagina.
I don't. So that my. I
mean, I shouldn't assume, but I imagine.
To assuage your curiosities, no, I don't. I don't have a vagina.
Yeah.
And I'm glad of that, because they seem very complicated. Oh my God! Speaking of which. Reminds me of a story. How I said how the lips sag. I had a friend who walked in on her mother, who was I don't know why, but for some reason she was getting undressed in the living room.
Okay.
But she walked in on her mother, who was naked, and she covered herself and turned to run out of the room. But while she was running, her lips were swinging between her legs.
Oh my God.
And it looked like she had 4 legs because they were running too.
Oh my Lord.
That's how droopy her vagina was.
Wow.
Yes, it happens to people.
If I wasn't gay before. God.
Well, we get droopy testicles, so.
Well, all I'm imagining is like a chicken from the butcher. How you got the chicken legs and then you got that droopy skin around the whole of the chicken.
Oh, God. Are you talking about the waddle, or the?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I think.
All right. Well,
yes. On that note,
happy after Christmas sales.
Yes, we have to get the after Christmas sales. So this is 2022.
Yes.
And
I can't believe it's over with.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Well, I want to give you a big giant thank you, because you have participated more than anyone else in this year's episodes.
Oh, always a pleasure.
So thank you.
Hopefully the audience enjoyed it.
Thank you for being so dedicated to the podcast. And
well, you're an easy chat and an even easier lay.
That's true. So I've been told. And I want to thank everybody who's been listening for the duration of this year. And I want to wish everybody a very, very happy new year. So, until 2023, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams.